Hello everyone, and welcome to Dream Team. I'm Trent Lenkarski,
and I'm Alice Langlois.
And this is the first episode.
The first real episode. And thank you, I just wanted to say thank you so much for all the people who already listened to the intro episode and sent us dream submissions and sent us such lovely comments. It made us way more excited to start this project. I think it's going to be really amazing.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely really good feedback, and I mean, I didn't know if we were even going to get any submissions, and we got 15 or 16 so far, which is crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. And they were so fun to read.
Yeah.
So before we even do the fan submissions later, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who submitted. I read every single one of your dreams, and I had a blast. Even if we don't get to them, I just want to say thank you. I will always read all of them, and your dreams are all amazing.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. I will also read all of them. I only read a couple so far, but I will read them all eventually. I read I think 4 or 5 so far, but yeah.
I think just one thing before we start this episode is we kind of realized that we didn't really fully introduce ourselves in the last episode, like who we are, how we know each other. So we wanted to just take a little bit, just a few minutes to kind of talk about who we are and why we're doing this, so you could get a better sense of, who we are as people outside of, this podcast. Trent, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I'll go first. My name is Trent Lenkarski. My main thing right now is I do YouTube videos. I kind of got into that from my friend Joel Haver. And yeah, I've just been making YouTube videos. I've been doing a lot of voice acting. That's kind of the main gist of what I'm up to and what I do.
Where can people find your videos?
They can find my videos on YouTube.
Under Trent Lenkarski?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's my name. Trent Lenkarski.
Trying to let you plug yourself.
Yes.
Cool.
Trent Lenkarski. I also, my only other really thing that I use often is Instagram, which is at T Lenkarski, Lenkarski. And yeah, I do a lot of voice acting stuff for people. And I make my own YouTube videos. I've started doing some more baking videos this year. And I do a little bit of animating myself, but that's about it for me. I guess I can introduce how we know each other. We both grew up in the same little hometown of Belchertown, Massachusetts. There's a picture of us together at I think Alice's birthday in 1st or 2nd grade. So we've known each other pretty much our whole lives. We were really good friends in high school, and we kind of lost touch for a while, but we started talking again in 2020, and yeah.
Yeah, it was really great to get back in touch with you again, especially since you got into filmmaking. For me, I studied animation and filmmaking in college, and I work in the animation industry full time now. And I only just started posting some of my films and animations on YouTube, so you can find those under my name, Alice Langlois.
Where can they find them?
On YouTube. Yeah, I just started my channel in September, so I'm still kind of learning how I want to use it. But definitely check it out. I also have a lot more art on my Instagram. That's at AC Lovely with a dot between the A and the C and the C and the Lovely. I have a lot of other things on there, little drawings and videos, and I've been, an artist pretty much my entire life, but a lot of things I've, made for my art have been inspired by dreams. So I was really excited at the opportunity to do this podcast. And yeah, Trent and I have known each other since we were kids, and we all went to school together for, our whole public school experience basically. And part of that too was occasionally sharing our dreams with each other, and this was kind of just a back burner project for a while after we got back in touch. So it's really cool to make it not just a dream, but a reality.
Yeah, for sure. Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Or you
Or
can let
do.
them be dreams, but write them down and tell them to us.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, so other than that introduction, this is going to be kind of the main structure for how we do these episodes. So we're going to kind of talk about our own dreams first. I don't know who's going to go first, but one of us will go first, and then we'll talk about a little fact about dreams, and then we will go through some fan submissions and read through those.
Yeah. I was thinking I could probably go first for dreams, unless you wanted to.
You can totally go first if you want to.
So this one's kind of interesting. I was originally going to talk about something else for this episode, but I had kind of a wild dream last night, unlike anything I'd ever had before. For context, I was really, really sick yesterday. I got a really bad stomach virus. I had to go to the hospital. And I'm fine now. I'm doing a lot better. But when I got home, I was so tired, and I had like a fever, and I was not feeling very good. And I was trying to sleep, but it was one of those nights when you're really sick, you got a fever, and you feel like too hot, too cold, just like uncomfortable, and like you just have those weird kind of like in and out dreams.
Yeah.
And so I remember just like I was having such a hard time sleeping because this fever was making me like shake a lot. I just couldn't stop shaking, even though I was like warm enough. And it was so hard to stay asleep because I was shaking so bad. And I got to a point where I was sort of like half asleep, and I just had this incredible dream that I was just like surrounded by just thousands and thousands of little video screens of people from all around the world telling me that I was strong and that I was going to be okay, and telling me to just like focus and like deep breathing, and like just telling me how strong I was and that I was amazing and that I was going to get through this and everything was going to be fine. And it was just that, for just like,
oh my goodness,
just all together, just all these voices just telling me, just like men and women and all, like young people, old people, just all these people just telling me how strong I was. And then after a while, it was just like overwhelming for a moment, just all these voices. And then like all of a sudden at like 3 a.m. I woke up and the fever broke and I stopped shaking. And I was able to sleep peacefully for the rest of the night. And it was like kind of one of the craziest dreams I've ever had.
That's so trippy, yeah.
Yeah, it was so, I don't usually dream about like so many other people like that. I'm usually like, you know, in a place somewhere doing some crazy fantastical thing, but it was just like me, like this little shaking bundle in my bed, just with all these glowing screens around me, just all these people telling me it was going to be okay. And it was like kind of amazing.
That's crazy. Was it like people you knew, or was it just random, just humanity as a whole?
No, it was all strangers. It was like if every TikTok account in the world was like playing in front of me and somebody was recording a video telling me I was doing a good job.
Whoa.
It was like kind of emotional. Yeah, it was really
crazy.
crazy.
It sounds like a religious experience.
It was totally just like a fever dream, but like not like, you know, like a nightmare fever dream. It was like a good guy mode fever dream.
Yeah, usually fever dreams are like bad and not a good time. That sounds
I know.
Like
I mean, it definitely was
supportive fever dream.
It was definitely not like fun totally, because I was just like really struggling to, you know, not keep shaking, and I just felt so like hot and uncomfortable. But I just like, you know, all these people just telling me it was going to be okay, it just helped me get through it, I think.
It's weird. It's almost like the fever dream itself wanted to support you.
I know, yeah. I mean, it's like I had such a rough day, you know, it was nice to have my brain there with me, cheering me on, because
yeah, for sure. Well, I'm glad you're better.
Yeah, me too.
I felt really bad for you, yeah, because we were like planning on recording it yesterday, and then like
I was
you're
like,
like,
what
oh,
up? I'm in the hospital.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I took the day off. I don't feel good. We'll probably record later. And then I just like looked at my Instagram, and you're like in the hospital, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah, it was not fun.
Yeah.
I had to go to the ER, but totally fine now. Just needed some fluids and stuff. Would not wish this stomach virus upon my worst enemy. So stay safe, friends. Wash your hands. Wear a mask. Don't get stomach flu. It'll give you some crazy dreams.
For sure. A lot of sicknesses going around. I got a bunch of friends sick.
Yeah, be careful out there.
Well, I didn't get them sick, but I have a bunch of friends who are sick.
Nice save.
I worded that weird. Sorry, yeah. But yeah. Shall I tell mine?
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
Oddly enough, kind of in a similar vein. This is one I prepared this before I even knew what yours was about. But it was from back in September. I had this dream. Kind of similar about not being able to like warm up, kind of.
Wow.
Because, in mine it was like we kind of mentioned in the intro that I have very short dreams. So this is one of the short ones. I have had some longer ones, but this is one of the shorter ones. But it was literally just that I was like ice fishing somewhere. I've never been ice fishing, so I don't really know much about it. But I do know that they like some places they have little like shacks set up on the ice, like tiny little like huts. And so in my dream, I was like in one of those, and I just couldn't warm up, and it was really kind of sad.
Oh no!
Like I was just in there, and it was like the middle of the day, and I was like curled in a ball trying to warm up, and I just couldn't. And I woke up.
Oh no, you didn't get warm by the end of the dream?
No.
Oh,
so
that's
I don't know. I don't know if in the dream I passed away from the cold or not, but
no.
I was just really cold, and then I woke up and I was like, oh, and I just felt kind of sad when I woke up. So
that's so interesting that there was like emotion attached to it. Did you feel cold? Did you feel cold when you woke up?
I do not remember.
It
was in September, so I don't.
It was probably pretty hot still.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because I definitely have had some dreams where like if I'm feeling a physical sensation in the dream, it's because like my body is actually feeling that way in real life. Like, have a dream that like, maybe I'll have like sprained my ankle or something, and then in my dream, I'm dreaming that my foot is hurting or something. It's like something like that. I don't know. But that's so interesting. It's so sad.
Yeah. That's weird you mentioned that. I've had like 4 knee injuries. But while I had them, I've never had a dream about them. But it's afterwards I have had them.
Right.
Does that make sense? Yeah. Interesting.
Did you get to do any ice fishing in the dream, or were you just in your little house?
No, it was just that I was ice fishing. It was like wooden walls around me and like a tiny little, like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 foot by 5 or 6 foot little shack, and then like ice on the ground because like ice fishing.
Yeah.
They cut a hole in the ice. That's all I really remember. And I was just like in like a bundle of blankets on the ground. Yeah.
Wow.
That's really it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I just had a short little one for this week.
Yeah, no, that's great. I'm sorry that you were so cold in your dream.
Thank you. It's okay.
I'm
sorry that you were cold and sick in real life.
Yeah.
And in the dream.
We're all okay now.
Yes.
Hey, I've got a fun little dream fact for you.
Oh, you have a little dream fact for me?
I do have a little dream fact for you. This is something that's been on my mind for quite a bit now.
Since the beginning of the year, would you say?
Yes, exactly.
What is this dream fact?
It is a particular thing in Japanese culture called the hatsuyume, and it is specifically referring to the first dream of the new year.
Oh.
Apparently, the first dream that you have in the new year is kind of supposed to give a little, give a little clue as to how your year is going to go. If it's going to be a good year or not. So if you have a good hatsuyume dream, you might have a good year. But it all depends on what you dream about.
Yeah.
Specifically, there are 3 things. If you wanna have a particularly good year, there are 3 lucky things that you should be dreaming about.
Okay. What are they?
We've got Mount Fuji.
Okay.
A hawk.
Okay.
Or an eggplant.
Huh.
These are the 3 auspicious objects of the hatsuyume. And I know for a fact I did not dream about any of those things. Not just for my first dream of the new year, but I don't think I've dreamed about any of those things this month at all. So maybe that's why this month has ended so poorly for me. Gotta work on dreaming about those things, I suppose. But I just thought that was so interesting. It's kind of like a little, almost sort of a divination, dream divination technique, I suppose, that I thought would be kind of cool to share.
Yeah, I don't know that I've dreamed about any of those things ever, to be honest.
Yeah, I could probably be on the same page as you, because I don't think I feel like there's a pretty good chance I've dreamed about a hawk. I do dream about a lot of animals.
Dream, yeah.
But
yeah, you're an animal person.
I am an animal person. I dream a lot about animals and seeing them or being them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been, it's just like a good luck thing. So I don't know, maybe it's one of those things where, like, if you didn't dream about them, it's not like you're gonna have a bad year. But if you did dream about them, oh boy, you've got some good things coming for you. And I'm just looking at the Wikipedia article now, and there's another 3 auspicious objects that are not as well known. So here's some little bonus lucky objects, and if you've dreamed of these, maybe it's gonna be good for you too. We've got a fan, tobacco, or a blind acupressure. Wow.
Oh.
Can't say I've dreamed about any of those things either.
No, I don't think I have either.
But I don't know. I mean, maybe if you're in Japan, you see all 6 of those things more often and are more likely to dream about them. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe, because I mean, especially Mount Fuji, that's such a, famous landmark of Japan. Maybe we should make like a US version of the hatsuyume. Like, think about like what 3 lucky objects could be, like, the best
cheeseburger.
Well, that could be for the eggplant. It's like a food,
dog.
Right? Cheeseburger, dog.
American flag.
Oh, the White House.
The Hollywood sign.
Yeah. What is like the most famous natural landmark in the U.S.?
Natural?
Yeah.
Probably like Yellowstone or Grand Canyon.
Yeah. If you dream of a Yellowstone geyser, a cheeseburger, or a very good dog, you're going to have a great new year.
Awesome. And then the 6 bonus ones are Hoover Dam, what are the other 2?
The actual ones?
No, the American one.
The
American ones are making up right now. A cigarette.
That can be instead of tobacco. It's pretty close, right?
Yeah, true.
And then the 6th one is just like some kind of guy. So like
car salesman.
Perfect.
Yeah, car salesman.
Perfect.
A car salesman with one hand, because the the one for Japanese was like a blind acupuncture guy. So
this
car
baby
salesman
can
with
fit
one
so many
hand.
eggplants in it.
He gestures with this one hand. Cool.
Yeah, I just thought that was so cool. I don't, I have a kind of a, I try not to take dreams too seriously in terms of like interpreting them or, getting too serious about what they mean. But I think it is so interesting that almost every culture has some version of trying to make sense of these weird things that happen in our brain. And I really like the idea of like, starting a new year fresh and seeing what your brain has to tell you. So yeah, hatsuyume, super, super cool.
And then is it only for good things or is it bad?
Yeah, there wasn't anything. I'm just, for reference, I mean, if anybody's listening to this and is Japanese and knows more about this, definitely email us. But yeah, I'm just looking at the Wikipedia article, and it's mostly just talking about, the good things. There's nothing really about anything that you could dream about that would mean you'd have a bad year. So I think it's just any good luck that could come from having the first dream of the new year.
I see. And now we'll move on to fan submissions.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah. And again, I guess before we do these, you can send, I'll say this at the end of the episode too, but you can send submissions to dreamteampodcastsubmissions@gmail.com. I know it's a really long name. We tried our best, but that's the best we could get. So, and that's dreamteampodcastsubmissions@gmail.com. So yeah, so I guess to start, I'm going to read a shorter submission we got. This dream comes to us from Jeremy, and Jeremy says, I have a dream that I can fly, but to do it, I have to try to fall flat on my face. If I'm rigid enough, I stop an inch before I hit the ground, and then I float forward, going about 2 miles an hour. If I'm not rigid enough, I actually hit my face. It's like, yeah, I have a superpower, but I don't really want to show it off. Sweet dreams, Jeremy. Thank you, Jeremy.
I just thought that
is an awesome
so
dream. I love that. Yeah, I love how it's worded.
It's also just so funny to me because like I feel like everybody has a different way of dream flying. Like almost everybody I know has done it, and everybody almost always has some different like, oh, I have to just like jump really high, or I have to like swim through the air, or I have to flap my arms. And this one was just, I've never heard anything like it before.
I have to fall and be kind of rigid, or not or if I'm not rigid enough, I hit my face.
It's just so funny. Thank you, Jeremy. I love that one so much. All right, shall I do this longer one?
Yeah, sure.
All right, this one comes to us from Frederick, or possibly Friedrich. Sorry if I pronounced it wrong. And it's called Moth Children.
Ooh.
I dreamt I was a guy, single and living alone in an apartment directly across from a public park. I was bored one night, so I decided to go for a stroll through the park. It was nice at this time. There was no sunlight, but the lamppost kept the park well lit and visible. As I walked, I noticed something by the nearby lights. A couple of moths, but among them stood a woman. Nothing about her visually stood out to me, but she seemed like one of the most beautiful women I had ever seen. She walked towards me, and I walked towards her, and then everything went dark. Next thing I know, I was regaining consciousness on the ground, with no women or moths to be seen. I searched for her, but didn't find her again that night. I returned to my apartment and noticed myself feeling sick and unwell over the next few days. A sizable growth had begun to grow on my back behind my right shoulder. I was growing desperate for answers and becoming too ill to leave my apartment. Every night I would watch the park from my window, hoping to see her and demand answers. Then one night I saw it. A large spherical spacecraft landed in the middle of the park, and some beings emerged from it, as if they were looking for something or someone in the park. I knew it had to be related to the woman I saw, so I mustered as much strength as I could, and I went outside to approach the spacecraft. As soon as they saw my physical condition, they immediately brought me inside, where I was placed on a medical table and greeted by a medical droid of some kind. He was spherical too, and floated in the air, and had a bunch of robot arms. He looked very much like he was a medical droid, so I trusted him, and to be honest, with my current state, I would take any answers or advice I could. The droid informed me that they were here, tracking an escaped alien species, a hive mind that leeches off of other creatures. This explains what the moths were. He explained that they subdue their target by giving them some sort of serene hallucination using their spores, and this lets the creature's guard down while they feed. This explained the woman. He explained how the alien species is used by space farmers to produce food, as the moths infect livestock animals with a growth, and the growth then grows a sort of version of the livestock that has a short lifespan but grows very quickly. This helps produce extra food and meat for the farmers. What he was trying to tell me was I was about to become a father, as that growth was about to spawn some new humans. Surgery goes well and the first child is revealed, a girl I named Anna. Second child confirmed, another girl I named Molly. A third child is on its way. I decided to name it Junior. Suddenly, there was a large energy explosion that crippled my shoulder and back. There was no third child, just a buildup of energy. They handed me my 2 new children and sent me on my way. It was an odd feeling. Part of me was happy to now be the father of these 2 beautiful girls. Another part of me was sad, knowing they would only live a fraction of a human lifespan and would be gone within a few years. And part of me was confused by what the heck just happened. I now walked with a cane due to the damage sustained by the energy explosion, but I lived a quiet and happy life as a father to these odd, part-alien children. The spacecraft came back one day, and the droid handed me some texts that were alien information translated about the space moth aliens. It wasn't exactly a parenting manual, but it helped me understand my children, and helped them understand themselves. We discovered there was a slight chance they may one day sprout moth wings, as a part of some leftover DNA from their alien heritage. That's all I remember. It's definitely a dream I will remember for years to come.
Whoa.
To me, that was just like totally
That's
a science
amazing.
fiction movie. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
I think that dreams like that are why people think they get like abducted by aliens and stuff.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
Just so cool.
Yeah. And so many little details.
Yeah, it's amazing how much you remembered. That's so cool. Thank you for sending that to us.
Oh, man. That one is crazy.
I know. I couldn't imagine like the emotional burden of like waking up from that dream and being like, man, I just like had 2 kids.
Where are my 2 alien children?
Yeah.
My moth babies.
Oh. So crazy.
Well, if you ever, I know it doesn't really happen much, but if you ever have a follow-up dream to that, that'd be cool to send that in.
Yeah, I wish I could know what happens to those little moth babies.
Yeah. I guess we'll never know. Unless.
All right, wanna end on a lighter note with this last dream?
Yes. And yeah, this last dream submission comes to us from Colton, also known as the Guy Man. And he writes, there are not a lot of dreams that stick with you for a long time, and in order to tell it back, you normally have to make up some details and fill in the gaps. In this instance, however, it is really easy for me to recall the whole thing. I don't know if my brain was just being lazy and wanted me to finish it when I woke up, but this particular dream was less of a dream and more of a concept. My dream mind said, remember how you used to watch Lilo and Stitch about 15 years ago? That was a pretty good franchise. Also, do you remember Tom and Jerry? A classic cartoon you haven't seen in years? Those were both really good, and nothing could really make them better. Unless. That's just how my brain rationalized it. The concept that my brain came up with was showing me a show called Lilo and Tom, The actual dream was literally just a still image of a title card with both Lilo from Lilo and Stitch and Tom from Tom and Jerry standing next to it. Stitch and Jerry were nowhere to be seen. I've been racking my brain for years, and I have never had another dream that was just a single picture that wasn't even doing anything. Can you please help me figure out what I'm supposed to do with this ultimate nugget of wisdom that my brain has bestowed upon me? It can't mean nothing. There has to be a purpose. From Colton, the guy man. Very funny.
that was one of the first submissions that we got, and it was just so funny. I don't know if I have ever had a dream that was just an image.
No, I don't think I have either. I've had like short, weird ones, but I don't know if I've never had just an image.
Well, Colton, to answer your question, I think that maybe it was some sort of prophetic vision, and you need to make this dream into a reality, as it were. There's some kind of potential there.
I think so. Or at least draw the title card.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I have to see it. Lilo and Tom.
I can kind of see it in my head. I don't know why.
What kind of antics would they get up to? Who knows?
I don't know.
Maybe pitch it to Cartoon Network or something.
Do they have to save Stitch and Jerry?
That's the spin-off show.
It's so ominous how it's worded. Stitch and Jerry were nowhere to be seen. That's so ominous.
It's a spin-off show that comes after like the first 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's like, I don't know, in some sort of awful parallel universe where they each lose their respective companions and have to come together to fill the hole in each other's hearts.
It's like the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
The Lilo and Tom Power Hour.
Oh man.
They're not even under they're not under the same company though.
Yeah, I think you might, if you did decide to go forward with this project, you might run into some IP issues for sure. Yeah. But you know, okay. maybe your brain was trying to say, "Hey, it's worth the legal issues." It's worth the cease and desist orders. This is going to be the next great thing.
Yeah. I think so.
Definitely.
I would love to see that title card though.
Yeah. There was at least one person in our emails that sent us some drawings that went with the dreams, and you know, you don't have to be an artist, but I know a lot of people who like to do a little drawing when they're writing a dream down just to remember it better. So if you have any any dream drawings too, send them to us, and maybe we can share them on our Instagram page.
Yeah, that'd be a really good idea. If you want, it's not a requirement if you send in a dream, but if you do have a drawing, or if you want to draw a little sketch or something for it, feel free to attach that. And where can, if people were to send us a dream, where would they send them?
dreamteampodcastsubmissions@gmail.com.
That's right.
The world's longest email.
The world's shortest email address.
And if you want to see any visual aids that go with the respective episodes of our podcast, we're probably going to try and make a post for every episode on our Instagram account to share any drawings or any images that have to do with what we talked about. And what's that Instagram handle?
The Instagram handle is a little different. It is Dream Team with Alice and Trent. That's cool. the at. Sweet. At Dream Team with Alice and Trent.
Awesome.
Or you could go to one of our Instagrams and look for Dream. Type in Dream and you'll find it. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll make it work.
Yeah. Also, it'll be on the YouTube page, on the YouTube, and I guess on Spotify and Apple as well. We'll have it in the description.
Yeah, we can put all of the
both of those,
personal and otherwise social media handles in the show notes for anywhere that we post this episode. So you'll be able to find all the things we talked about today pretty easily.
Yeah, which for now, we're only on, I believe it's YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
Yep.
So if you're using one of those and you want to use one of the other two, then you can do that. Or if you want to use all three, that would be cool too.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't really know how it works yet, but I listen to a lot of podcasts on Apple Podcasts. So like, if you like it, give us a little review or a comment or something like that, so that we can really get this show going.
Yeah.
We'd really appreciate it. And like I mentioned earlier,
sure.
Thank you so much for the positive feedback on our intro episode.
Yeah.
We're so excited to be doing this project, and it's great to know how many other people are excited too.
Yeah, absolutely. It really means the world that you guys love this. And we hope to make a lot more.
Yes, definitely.
And yeah, I guess that's about it. That's about all I had.
Yeah, I think we're just about wrapped up. Yeah, thanks for listening to this episode of Dream Team. We hope that you sleep well tonight and have some sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams, everyone.
Good night.
Get some good rest. Good night.